Ndazi, and I am with Lit Culture Books, a Johannesburg bookshop that is based in Mabone. Being here today is so important to us and so significant, especially as a Jonga Amatashes Pilago. Yes, I am in the Indigenous Language Imbizo, so of course I'll break into my own language. But that we continue to provide literature. It is an abantu, it is an oluntu, and this is important right now in South Africa because South Africans are very curious about their history, and this is a pattern that we continue to see when people pop into our bookshops. So make sure that it's your business to know your language.
I am the author of the Bumi's Magic Beads series. These are some of the books that I've written. I'm primarily a children's book author, and if you would ask anyone or any of the other publishing houses perhaps why it is that it is not more standard for children's books to be available in all the languages, they'll say something that makes a lot of sense, which is that perhaps the market is not yet primed. There are languages which you could make money from, and there are languages from which you would unfortunately make a loss, like Isiswati and Ndebele, which is quite interesting because I'm Swati and Ndebele, but Swati and Ndebele gets bought the least. That's not an issue for me. What matters to me is that there was one Ndebele child that needed to read a really fun book, right?
Kulonyaka ndiye ndapapasha incwadi yam ehamba necwecwe lam elithiwa Apho Kungenje. I was just interested in the kinds of conversations that are happening in the space. The conference itself has been really interesting. I've learned a lot about various projects that Abantu are doing, and yeah, I'm inspired.
Right now we're speaking to someone who's not a stranger to the show at all. That's Siwela Langeni. She's an author and owner of Book Circle Capital, and today she's going to be presenting here at this Imbizo on the opportunities and challenges for Indigenous language books in African literature. Siwela, it's a pleasure to have you here once again. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thanks, Vanessa, for having me.
As someone who's really dedicated a part of their life through the Book Circle Capital to promoting African authors and African books, how significant is it that more and more authors and readers interact with Indigenous languages in this particular spectrum?
It's very important, Vanessa. We are grateful that we are having more and more of our stories in the mainstream, in the bookshops, having conversations and shows like yours. But the language thing is still a big gap.
And help me welcome Makumele Met Mananga.
Kenda Makumele Kapa Pukuchi Pasale, the Father Muchaka Chabalo, Ekana Manakamu College Mukopala, Mukola Santa Kane Watopa and Womanikarinala. Aha! It takes a poet to translate poetry. Why one treasure? Poetry is very dense. It's another language on its own. How do you translate Baudelaire lost his head, wrapped around his leg, Ginsberg ran wild on jazz music, organic, nothing plastic, oral poetics in them makes colonial tactics, fake the facts. I take it back, Reappropriation Act. How do you translate that? Why right?
The Lost in Africa book series is an 11-part anthology and survival guide on gender-based violence. It is the first multilingualized and now translated book on gender-based violence in South Africa. It has been written by 11 women, and believe me, when we took this project on, I did not see it going this far. And that is because I did not imagine how powerful our languages are, and that there are no borders to our languages. That is a lie that we have been told. What is very special about this book is that for the first time, women in my family, women in families that I will never get to meet, can talk about gender-based violence in a language that holds them, in a language that hears them, in a language that embraces them, and they can engage in dialogue. Now, without any further ado, I would like to play for you the last song on the audiobook, because the books have also been translated into an audiobook.
International Celebration of Indigenous Languages and conversations of how to preserve Indigenous languages today and for the future.
So today, your name is in the timeline of the Pendoring Language Imbizo 2024. Thank you so much. And as we say goodbye, this poem is not about a language adjuring to be used, fearing its inevitable death. This poem is not about proving that women can work together without squabbles. This poem, it's a city beneath the ground, sprouting names from the belly of the earth, surfacing names begging to be remembered. Hang our names on the washing lines, we want to be seen. Hang our names on the washing lines, we want to be seen. Hang our names on the washing lines, we want to be seen. We have been here before, transcending through the light, sending through the dark. Ain't no language master gonna stop us. Ain't no power monger politician gonna stop us. And we haven't here before. We have walked this path before. We haven't here before. We have walked this path before. So please, hang our names on the washing lines. We want to be seen. Have a lovely afternoon.